Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Today is September 8th, 2025. This is a regular meeting of the Wilmette Board of Park Commissioners. Director Lindgren, can you please call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Duffy.
Present.
Commissioner Goebel. Commissioner Clark.
Here.
Commissioner Murdoch.
Here.
Commissioner Frazier.
Here.
Commissioner Leahy.
Here. Consent, item 2.0, consent agenda.
I'll make the motion and then I'd like to poll. So I move to approve the consent agenda of the September 8th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners, a copy of which is to be attached and become a permanent part of the minutes of this meeting.
Second.
I would like to remove 2.4 and 2.8.
2.4 is June 23rd. 2.8 is August 11th. Michelle, is that what we meshed with earlier today? That's a thumbs up from Michelle.
Great.
Commissioner Goebel has entered. Do we need to do anything?
Good evening.
Yes. Looking to you, Mr.
May I ask a question about the surplus ordinance? What is our operating procedure on disposing of used equipment that we are, so does that go to a third-party vendor who then sells it for us, or does someone come to us and say they want to buy it?
Typically, it's auctioned off.
For reference, this is item 2.1, the surplus John Deere utility vehicle on consent.
Yeah, I'm not trying to remove it. I'm
No,
just
understood.
talking
Yeah.
about procedure so people are aware if there's any questions. Thank you.
Great. So amended motion is the consent agenda with the exception of 2.4 and 2.8.
Correct.
So moved.
Okay.
We need a second.
I'll second.
Nobody seconded the first motion.
I did.
Oh, I didn't
It's
hear you.
Commissioner Frazier has it. Will you please have your Ricola?
I'm too far.
Yes. All right. So roll call, please.
Commissioner Duffy.
Yes.
Commissioner Goebel.
Yes.
Commissioner Clark.
Yes.
Commissioner Murdoch.
Yep.
Commissioner Frazier.
Yes.
Commissioner Leahy.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Moving on to 3.0. 3.0 is communications and correspondence. As you're all familiar, the full policy for public comment is printed on page 3 of your packet. It explains procedures the board adheres to in order to maintain a respectful and efficient meeting. The purpose of public comment is for the public to share their comments and or concerns with the board. Due to time constraints of our business meeting, there is not time for dialogue. When possible, the board will address questions at the end of the meeting. If you have a specific question that is not addressed, please email the executive director. I'd like to remind everyone that we are a community of neighbors, and as such, we want our meetings to be civil, as courteous as possible. On the sign-in sheet, there were no public comment. Would anyone like to address the board? All right.
And I guess because we do have a few new faces in the room, I would just ask everybody who's here to make sure you do sign in. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Seeing no public comment, we are going to move on to, well, I skipped communications and correspondence, so we will go back. Any communications and correspondence not in the packet?
Everything I received was in the packet.
Great.
I think there was one this morning, but that will be in the next packet.
Yes. Now 4.0, which I read, and seeing no public comment, we will go to 5.0, staff reports.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Park Board vacancy update for everyone here. August 12th, the Park District issued a press release for the board vacancy following Commissioner Kozlowskis' departure. That application was open on August 12th with a closing deadline of September 2nd. We're happy to say that we received 12 applications for the vacancy, and we've got the names listed in the packet. For those that want to review those, the board will conduct interviews in September with an update on the status at the September 29th committee meeting. The final schedule of interviews will be determined by the board, and candidates will be notified accordingly. Just an update on the IRS notice for the 2016 tax year. I wanted to give an update that staff have reached out to our risk management agency and got a referral for a tax attorney, and Sheila and I both had a great phone call with a tax attorney and have engaged that tax attorney and will be reviewing the documents. We feel very confident in resolving this, and we'll give an update once we learn a little bit more. NRPA conference. That is the National Parks Conference. This is going to be September 16th through the 19th. That's held in Orlando, Florida this year. This conference it's really a great format for professionals in our industry to learn from others, share, build a stronger network, as well as see they have a huge vendor hall with lots of kind of new products, services, and an opportunity to grow in their professional knowledge.
Are you
And so
speaking this year?
I'm not speaking this year, but we have 4 staff that will be in attendance to take advantage of that great opportunity. Lastly, a fun one here is the New Trier Township Child Care Scholarship. This school year, New Trier Township is assisting 10 children from 8 qualifying families by covering 75% of their child care costs at the Park District, an investment totaling $35,689. In partnership with the township, the Park District is covering the other 25% for a total amount of $47,587 to support families that are in need of childcare. We definitely have a great partnership with the township and wanted to recognize that and thank them. That concludes my report.
Questions? All right, staff reports, Parks and Planning.
Good evening. Good evening. I'll start with Gilson. That project is starting to wrap up. We have Gewalt Hamilton is finalizing the closeouts and winding down the permit with MWRD. Our contractor is coming on site to finalize and finish the landscape deficiencies that still need to take place out there. So that's going to be commencing soon. At Langdon, the guard hut, the contractor finalized the last couple of punch list items. Staff held a final walkthrough site visit on September 5th, this past Friday, and we'll be winding down that permit shortly and start wrapping up that project. The Hibbard project, that project is going very well. The sidewalks are complete, the shade structures are complete, they're putting sod down, the painting for the pickleball courts is almost complete, and the reconstruction of the playground has started, and some of the play features were actually, in fact, delivered today. So that project is on target for the playground in the next couple of weeks to finish with that portion of the project. The CRC reconstruction, we have, as you're aware, we have one vendor that submitted a quote for us for reconstruction. That has been reviewed by LJ Shaw. They got back to me later today with some questions that I'm going to be answering tomorrow and getting back to LJ Shaw. Additionally, we received the second quote this past Friday. Staff reviewed the quote. I submitted that to LJ Shaw this afternoon, and then we'll be meeting once they do the final review for both quotes, and then we can hopefully start going forward with the reconstruction phase of that project. The CRC solar. Due to some logistical challenges, the cutover date has been pushed. We're actively working with ComEd, our vendor, and then we'll be working with CRC staff and rec staff to pick another date to get that cutover for the solar project so that can be complete, and then that project can then be transitioned over.
Taking a long time. But I understand.
Do you have an estimated date?
Not yet. No, we're still working on that date. Turning over to park staff. Park staff and building services staff worked really well together on the fabrication, design, and implementation of the Langdon Beach post and rope fence that has been installed. I think it looks great, not only from that standpoint, additionally from a risk mitigation standpoint, that should help that area out really nicely. Over the past month, staff has performed tree maintenance. They did a lot of storm cleanup with the severe weather that came through. The athletic fields were mowed, painted, lined, and set up for soccer and football. Staff also assembled some new memorial benches, repaired some existing benches, and collaborated and partnered with Go Green Wilmette on some upcoming volunteer projects. In addition to, they did some trail and facility updates, some fence replacements at Earlywine, and upkeep of the Shorewood Bike Trail. The building services staff completed several upgrades district-wide, including patching and painting and some refreshing in parts of the CRC, installing some slop sinks at Lakeview, and repairing and working with repairing the golf aerator at the golf pond. Annual fire sprinkler testing was carried out across all buildings in the Park District. The sailing weather station was replaced, and we continued on with our sustainability LED light upgrades, specifically in the CRC gymnastics lobby area. Safety Town was closed down as it was the end of the programming, and our staff closed out over 56 work order requests this past month. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Kind of a question with Gilson, because the new path from Middle Drive that was used to the path, it's a really nice path, but the edges, or especially the edge of what used to be the road, is kind of, I mean, there's some scrub grass starting to grow there, but it's predominantly like packed earth. Is there going to be anything addressing that, that strip of land that used to be covered by the asphalt and is now?
Yes, so as part of the punch list items for the landscape, they're supposed to come in and remove all those rocks, remove those weeds, grass, and then put new material down.
Is there any consideration or working with Lucy to maybe do more native plantings there? Because that would be, I feel like that would be really nice if you're walking along the path and you've got, wildflowers along the side with the butterflies and the other, so the birds that might.
So I do have staff looking into that along with the master plans for Gilson to see what we can do in those areas. So we are actively investigating that.
If you remember the golf cart path, at the edges of it were rough for a little while till I think it took a season to grow in. But then it looks great now, I think. So.
Josh, thank you very much for mentioning that you guys are paying attention to the master plan at Gilson, because one of the big projects that we had over the last few years was creating master plans for every single park. I shouldn't say master, what are the landscape plans?
Landscape plans,
yeah.
yes.
So
Landscape
really
plans.
appreciate you referencing that. And just a reminder to everybody that was a big effort by staff to put that together. And so again, kudos to your staff. My other comment was I thought that Langdon looks phenomenal right now. And I know there's some plant life that still needs to be addressed, but that poster rope fence really solves, I think, a great problem, or not problem, a potential issue that we had, and it looks awesome. So thank you very much again to your staff.
And when do we expect the final numbers on the cost of both of those projects all in?
I was told by our architect for Langdon, it'll take about 6 to 8 weeks to wind down the permitting process on that. So 8 to 10 weeks, we're hoping that we can have those projects wound down so that way we can finalize those.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good job.
5-3, golf report. Are you well?
Yeah, terrible.
It's 2 in a row.
I'll follow that up.
It worked last month. It was a better one last month.
Good evening. As you see in the golf report, things just kind of keep trucking along over at golf, staying very busy. We've commenced high school golf season, which is leading to practices and matches from various high schools every evening, which is an exciting use of the property. And really at a time when golf starts to slow, with teachers going back to school and other kids going back to school, it really keeps the place nice and busy. So that's good to see. The well, obviously, referenced from the last meeting was when we were just getting going. That has been repaired. There's a picture in the packet. It wasn't as easy as we initially hoped, as it never is, but staff worked through. Chris came out and was a big help, meeting with Nick and myself and kind of getting it over the finish line with the well repair company. So
It's great that it's repaired, and I know it came at a time during August, which was a little alarming. Some rain helped, but what is the maintenance schedule for the well, and what has the maintenance history been?
So as far as, I was just given a book with all of the initial drawings that we didn't have. The well was put in 1994. It's 31 years old. We've done some work to our irrigation, but as far as the well goes, I'm not familiar with details on what the preventative maintenance would have
It's
been.
800 feet underground.
Yeah, it's 800 feet underground where the motor is.
Sure, yeah, wells are deep.
Yeah,
But,
so
you know,
yeah, our well's
there's
800 feet,
probably-
and
yeah.
I think it's one of those things that it was a matter of time. We're working with the well repair company for the other well and to look at like what we could expect in the future, and maybe so that we'll be in a better situation to possibly do more preventative maintenance, or maybe look at a repair on the other well. It's something we discussed putting in capital for 2026 to potentially look at, so we don't get in this situation where the repair can be done in the off season and not when it's 100 degrees.
Right, right. Well, it's a good outcome in any case.
Yeah, the pond was low and now the pond is high. We have water, everything's good, temperatures have cooled, the golf course is really rounding into pretty nice shape, and that's really all I have. Is there any other questions?
Comment, question. One, the well must have been incredibly stressful for all y'all, and you did an awesome job with it. Not one person, some people were asking me what happened there, and I said, it was a fairly catastrophic maintenance issue.
Yeah.
And kudos to you and everybody for dealing with a big curveball. So thank you. And the second is I've noticed the theme throughout the summer has been the increase in the junior memberships,
Yep.
which is wonderful. It's a community municipal golf course. Any thoughts on that? I mean, or for next year, is the pricing point too low? Is the pricing point great because we want to increase these things? It's a tough one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody finally asked that question. No. So we've been looking at it because we're in budget time right now.
Right.
So I'm kind of going through my costs and all of those things. And actually, so if you go back to like pre-COVID, we've always had a junior membership.
Right.
But in those times, our junior members average between 15 and 20. We have 121 right now. So some of it's the explosion of the game. Some of it is kids feeling more comfortable. And some of it, we also have become a place for high schools. So then it's like, oh, your kid wants to play high school golf when he's in 6th grade, get him a pass at Wilmette. So it's like building on itself.
Yeah.
And I think we really got a huge influx when Winnetka closed, because that's traditionally where many of the kids closed. That's where New Trier practices and plays. So when that course was closed, a lot of them came over by us, and many of them have stayed. Loyola was out there today hosting a match. We have many of the Loyola kids, and I think it's just become popular. And to answer your business question, because of the number of kids we have, we look at 120, and there's certain kids. It's $600 for the annual pass, and there's certain kids that will play enough rounds to make it super valuable for them, but it's offset with enough kids that don't play as much, just like a fitness club or anything else, where there's some people are going to use it every day, and then some are going to pay and use it 3 times a year. So our dollars per round for junior golfers is above $33 a round, which comes in, which is what we would get anyway. It's actually even a little better, so it's profitable, community-based, and something I think makes the place a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's great to hear, because it sounds like I know several teenagers that use it a ton.
Yeah.
And I have said this to you before, I'll say it again. Part of the reason they play there is because they feel welcome and the vibe, for lack of a better term. And so kudos to you for providing that, because it's a wonderful thing.
Thanks.
Any
Any
else?
questions?
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys, so much.
Thanks.
5-4 recreation.
Struggling to comprehend that 1994 was 31 years ago.
Seriously.
Ugh. First, I want to say cheers to Lindsay and Ashley for pulling off an awesome block party this past weekend. It was an awesome time. August is a super busy month. We transitioned from everything summer and summer camp into BAM. It's school has started, and now we're into the fall programming and all that, the stuff that goes with it. So very busy time, lots of things going on. Highlights over the month, aside from all of that, I know some of you came to the duck event we had at the pool fundraiser. That was super cute and super cool. And then we sent a bunch of Wilmette tennis kids off to the U.S. Open, and they got to participate in a program there, part of the USTA youth tennis program. So that was a really cool thing for us to hang our hat on. Aside from that, I'm sure you're aware that we have a new after-school rec program. We've kind of grown that a bit to now where we're doing a lot of our after-school rec programs in the schools. We no longer are at Lakeview, and we're no longer at Centennial after school. The numbers are reflecting the need in the community. People are coming out and they're staying at their school, but they're also still coming to the CRC. So we are meeting a lot of needs for families after school, which has been a really great thing. We've gotten positive feedback from all that stuff. But do you have any other questions about the month of August?
You talked to us a little bit about the junior counselor program. I know you had some notes in here, so I'm just curious the changes in it because there obviously was a difference in participation. One, I believe, was a revenue generating program. Now I'm not as clear. Can you walk us through the decisions?
So previously, it served a younger population also, the 7th and 8th graders that were kind of pre-junior counselors. This is more set up to where the people that participate now get the real experience, and then the intent is to the next year to turn them out to be counselors of ours. So there's less, I guess, lag time in between the experience they get.
So I know the 7th and 8th graders were actually paying a fee. It was almost like a camp that parents would pay for them to participate. Are the 8th through 11th graders paying to participate in that?
There
as
still
well?
is a camp fee
Okay.
for that.
All right. Has any consideration been given to adjustments for next year to entice? Obviously, by 11th grade, these are kids who could be earning income outside of paying to participate. So I'm just curious how we envision that.
We haven't really wrapped up the camp season in terms of identifying all that. The numbers are smaller because it was intentionally, the program was a little bit more intense and a little bit more geared toward a robust experience versus keeping the same level of participation as the whole group. But we certainly want to look at what the program's intent is, what the value is to the community, and we'll price it out accordingly from there. So yeah, more to come, not to put you off, but
No, that's fine.
we got to wrap it all up to really get our heads wrapped around it.
Thank you.
Sure.
I do have a question about the library pass for beach. What was it looks like we got a decent amount of use out of them at the different libraries.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any feedback, or what was kind of the temperature of this program?
I don't really have much tangible feedback other than what the actual numbers were.
Yeah.
We'll dig in the off season to how many families were repeat users, maybe where they came from,
Yeah.
Get a little bit more of a story to it, but it was certainly successful.
Yeah.
The last I heard, we were the 2nd ranked beach in the program. So
Oh.
people were willing to, I'm not sure how many beaches were actually in the program, but
Yeah.
possibly. But
12.
it seems really successful and it seems pretty well received and definitely something we want to keep doing moving forward.
Yeah, it was an interesting idea when it was brought up, and I'm glad to see that people found it and used it to give it a shot. So, thank you.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I know in the past we had individual department reports. Like, is there going to be a beach report and a pool report coming to us later?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just depending on how the budget schedule all works out, but that's scheduled to happen October and November.
right.
And we'll do like an overall camp report too, where we'll give you a big, broad picture, and my whole team will participate in that presentation. So I'll talk about the kind of the individual camps and answer some of those specific questions you'll have about how camp season with this in a year and what we're looking at for next year.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Moving on to 5.5, operations.
Hello. You all have a little block party swag in front of you. If you would like to switch colors or would like another one, please let me know. All the colors are available. And inside, some chapsticks, which we had from our sponsors, Heil and Heil. And we have some Everybody Always stickers now. So I know that a couple of you gotten the decals that you can stick on, but there's some stickers now, and that program will be fully pushing out now that Block Party has commenced. But outside of the report that I have written for you guys for August, I just wanted to touch on a few things Block Party related because it's the 2nd largest event that this community has, and it was a lot of fun this past weekend. So just kind of to round it out, and then I won't talk about it again for another 9 months or so. But we had over $46,000 in sponsorships, which is our largest year yet for sponsorships. That includes anything from the $250 food vendor fee to the $125 kid zone, and then all the way up to our $7,500 platinum sponsor. So a really, really great turnout. We had over 20 booths in the sponsor sponsor area, I guess, and 40 down in the kids zone, which is just amazing. I just got some of the pictures in this evening from Rhonda Holcomb, and then JP and our marketing staff took pictures as well. But it's so cool just to see the swarm of people that just goes from one end of the picture to the other throughout the event, throughout the whole day. So it was a lot of fun. So we still have some chapsticks. We'll have them up at admin and up at CRC front desks for people to have. And then we still have a lot of swag, such as the koozies, some shirts, some hats, belt bags that people can purchase directly at the admin office. So we'll send out some information about that as well. Just some of the highlights that were really, really well received. We had a couple secret shows in Wilmette Way. Truman Sinclair came out, and then we had a Kimbo Jim who was down there, and the feedback from that was more things like that in Wilmette Way. So it was really fun that kind of a last minute request turned into something that was really well attended and really well enjoyed for an alleyway that was created to do things just like that. So it was a ton of fun. We're going to have some surveys that go out to either like the food vendors, the volunteers, staff, businesses to get more feedback directly from everybody that was there to understand what we could do better or different. So if any of you guys hear it, please encourage somebody to email me, or if you guys can pass it along. Feedback is never bad. Let's see. We had, the true community and team effort here. Yes, Ashley Siegel from the village and I worked behind the scenes, but on the day of, it was a labor of love from all over. We had lots of members on staff from Parks and Planning. Every department, I feel like, of rec staff was there. We had marketing and HR as well that showed up to help. Public Works, Police, Fire, Village, and then the volunteers. We had over 100 volunteers, and one of the new things we did this year was have a volunteer meeting ahead of time, which was really well received, so people could kind of ask their questions, get their jitters out, and understand what their role was. So that was awesome. Moving on, any questions about Block Party before I change?
Just a comment, the band, I didn't go see the earliest, but the headliner, that was a really good band.
Anthem?
I really had fun, yeah.
They were great. Yeah, they rocked it. They were like classic rock stuff.
Yeah.
All the bands were good.
I-
Good feedback
I guess
on
it
all
was
of them.
more.
Good. Those were one thing I didn't see. Like I heard maybe a snippet of music. It's like it starts and then the day is gone. But that's good to hear. So I have a lot of feedback that I've already gotten. Literally the morning of, I woke up to emails of people from the community or sponsors saying thank you for another great event. So at some point I'll kind of package all those up and give a report on the feedback we received. But one of the pieces of feedback that I did want to share tonight was Eric Gonzalez is our HR assistant. And at the end of the beach season, we send out evaluations to all of our part-time staff to, before we go ahead and terminate everybody for the end of the season. And he went above and beyond and collected comments from the beach staff, because that's the ones that he was working on, and he passed them on to Emin, Connor, and Megan. And the comments that these staff have given back on this is your evaluation, you got to close out, end the year. You don't have to say anything at all. You can just be like, yep, I worked, thank you. But the number of comments that he received back and what they said was really, really awesome. So I thought I'd share a couple of those, because I feel like you guys are always giving us comments and great feedback, and sometimes it's nice to hear what's going on. So I love working at Gilson Beach and can't wait to come back next year. I hope to have the opportunity to further show my leadership skills next year. I'm at school for the next couple of months, but I'm home for Thanksgiving break and Christmas, so I'm more than happy to help around with after-school care or whatever opportunities there are to do so. Thank you for another awesome summer. Absolutely nothing compares to this job. Already counting down the days until lifeguard training next year, if I get invited back. Love you guys. You made my summer fun. Loved this year. Thanks for having me. I learned a lot. I'm so excited to come back next year. And literally the list goes on and on and on. So I just wanted to point that out, because from all the staff that took those jobs, and then for Eric to take that extra step and tell those staff that feedback, it was a great way for me to end the week on a Friday. So I know it was for them too.
Well, it speaks to the leadership that they set the tone at the top, and it
Very much.
really shows in the way that they conduct themselves as staffers.
Couldn't agree more. The last thing that I wanted to mention is moving forward, we're going to try to get some consistency going with our agendas, our memos, and things like that, as well as try to reduce the use of paper that we're printing off. Sometimes our packets get really, really long, so we're going to try to introduce a new way for the public to consume our information. We're going to have a QR code that people can scan when they come into these meetings to be able to pull up the information on their phone. And we're going to have an option to request a packet to be printed ahead of time, whether in regular print or large print, to be available for somebody when they arrive, so that we can start reducing what we're recycling if we do or don't have a larger group. So we'll test it out, see how it goes. Hopefully it works well, but just thought I'd give you the heads up before we rolled it out in case there was any feedback on that.
Small feedback. I
Yeah.
would do that. I understand that we do consume a lot of paper.
Yeah.
I would like to have status quo in parallel with that to phase it in, because we have gotten a number of. I remember pretty vividly people being very upset at not having copies of the
Sure.
packet, and it, as all things, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. So if we could kind of do parallel paths, that
I like that. That sounds like a great idea. We can definitely
I'll
do
just
that.
mention too, I mean, I know for younger families, the phone is everything, they do that, but I know for me or people my age, it's kind of hard to read
Mm-hmm.
that, you can pull things up on the phone, but it's just a small screen.
I agree. And for everybody, there will still be the option to print them off ahead of time. If somebody comes here and wants a packet, I'm sure Michelle will say, of course, and run back and print them off too. There won't be no packets available, but sometimes we anticipate 20 people coming and 2 people come,
Correct.
and that makes it kind of tricky. So we'll see how it goes. If
Yeah.
it's not well received, easy to change course. But that was our plan.
it's a great idea.
So. Anything
Questions?
else? Awesome. Thank you all.
Thank you. Finance report 5-6.
Hi, everyone. It's going to be short today because I've been up to my ears in budget projections and budget 2026, as you can well imagine. So I put together a summary of the discussion that we had regarding the July financials. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, if you do, just let me know, okay? We have our training meeting with Fifth Third to discuss how we're going to transition from JP Morgan to Fifth Third with the P card. Okay, now that summer's over, this would be a good time to pull back all the P cards that are currently out there and then issue the new P cards to every one of the staff. I'll let you know how that goes. I have completed the RFP for audit services, but I kind of don't really know how to distribute that. So Josh is going to give me a hand with that. Maybe he's just finding that out right now, but he's going to give me a hand with that this week. Talked about the property tax bills. The extended levy was cut back, which means we got the most of the levy that we requested at the end of last year. So there's always there's an overall limiting rate related to the property tax levy, and we always seem to, I mean, at least as long as I've been here, we have always been clipped back a little bit because we try and capture, what new
property.
Thank you. That's the toughest thing to try and figure out. So, again, I'm glad that we did that. So, so our lease with the MWRD, Canal Shores, is on. The MWRD lease requires that we provide a statement of no revenue, because there's some language in there where the MWRD is going to be getting money if there is revenue. Then I provide a copy of the financial statements from Canal Shores to MWRD. The statement of no revenue has already been submitted to the MWRD. The Canal Shores was supposed to have their financials approved in August. It didn't make it through the meeting. So they assured me I'll get it in September, and then I'll send that on to them. They know that it's late, but they already have the piece of it that they really need, the statement of no revenue. So that's kind of it. Technology was busy also transitioning like iPads from the summer camps to school. So technology is always involved in that rollover also. That's kind of it. Doesn't sound like much, but we've been really, really busy over the last month. Any questions?
Thank you for the financial narrative.
No
I really
worries.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right.
Great. Thank you. That concludes staff reports. 6.0 unfinished business.
I move to approve the recommended competitive bid for Centennial flooring. Centennial flooring.
I second that.
All right. Discussion. Oh,
No, discussion.
yes, bit of discussion. Go ahead.
So if I read this right, so we are, alternate 2 was putting a logo into the flooring, and we are not doing that, correct? All right, I thought that was a great move, because what if the logo changes? Then we gotta rip up that floor. If we really want to have a logo in that entryway, there's companies that can create them in a rug, and then the rug can get cleaned, and, if that's something that really wants to go. Those were my comments on it. Otherwise, I was in favor of your recommendation, so thank you very much.
And the low bid on the overall project was the high bid on the logo, which generally tells you that they're not bidding that part of it competitively.
Yeah.
So I would agree with you.
Visually, is it changing anything from,
Color scheme, right? I mean, pattern, color, yeah.
but as far as, it's all carpeting still. It's the material. I'm sorry, Superintendent
Go ahead,
Walls,
Josh,
if you
yeah.
could come up. Thank you.
Well, I mean, if when Pat's comment on the logo could be on the carpet, sounds like it's not carpeting. This is tile, yeah, like Chris is.
I'm curious if you could explain more clearly where it's touching.
So it's going to be the front entryway by the locker rooms around to the hallway, and it's going to go down the ramp into the lobbyway down into where the skating area is. And it's going to be this special tile that is
The
designed.
skating.
Yeah,
board.
correct.
Okay. And it's slip proof, and
Slip
obviously there's a
resistant,
ramp
yes.
there. So,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Right. All right. Seeing no more discussion, you want to call the roll?
Roll call. Commissioner Duffy.
Yes.
Commissioner Goble.
Yes.
Commissioner Clark.
Yes,
Commissioner Murdoch.
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier.
Yes.
Commissioner Leahy.
Yes.
Motion
Motion
approved.
approved, yes. 7.0, new business.
I move to approve Resolution 2025 R5 for the emergency expenditure of funds without competitive bidding to facilitate the repair of the Wilmette Golf Club well.
I'll second.
Discussion, I think we
We've
covered
already
this.
covered
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Again, thank you very much,
Thank
Adam
you.
and your team. Seeing no further discussion, Director Lincoln, we call the roll.
Commissioner Duffy.
Yes.
Commissioner Goble.
Yes.
Commissioner Clark.
Yes,
Commissioner Murdoch.
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier.
Yes.
Commissioner Leahy.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
That moves us to 8.0, adjournment for closed session.
I move to adjourn to closed session to discuss the selection of a person to fill the current board vacancy in accordance with Section 2C3 of the Open Meetings Act.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 We are now in closed session. Thank you for everyone.